Welcome back to Ban or Pay, where we either ban or pay loyal subscribers submitting their replays to be up for review, not by me, but by the Twitch chat. They'll be voting on whether they get to eat tonight or they get banned. With that said, Hajime, welcome to Ban or Pay, where the community shares their replays with a chance to get banned or paid. Hey, Boda, yeah? Wait, that's Boda saying that. You're banned. Ban appeals have a 100% success rate. Share your replay in the Google Doc in the pinned comment to let chat decide your fate. Hajime. Starting up, we have Dr. JB, longtime subscriber, submitting their duel, including Blue Eyes White Dragon, the legendary dragon. The most powerful engine of destruction is here, virtually invincible, but not from being banned. Are you ready? Hajime. We're going first. Reveal our Blue Eyes White Dragon, normal summoning our White Stone of the Ancients into a Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Now, actually, this card has a secret effect that's pretty good against Snake Eyes. It states that neither player could special summon 2 or more monsters at the same time. What monster does that? Well, the Snake Eyes Flameburst Dragon, which reborns 2 monsters from the grave at the same time, is now an illegal activation with the Spirit Dragon on field. Will we actually see that in play? End our turn. Okay, that's all we really need. Now, the Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon could be destroyed until we have a Jet Dragon on the field protecting it from destruction. All other cards cannot be destroyed by card effects, so it's even extra protected. Let's see what's good. Unfortunately, there is a Forbidden Droplet to help negate that. Let me set this all up. Okay, we have Wanted Seeker searching for the Diablo Star. Super top tier, tier 1 against Blue Eyes. This is not looking good for Blue Eyes. We have our 1-card starter play with the Diablo Star, not even needing our normal summon. Searching for Subversion. Subversion can now, since we have no targeting protection, push one of our monsters into the back row. Is it? No, it is not the Spirit Dragon. Still protected, still going to be countering the Flameburst, setting up the Flameburst into the back row with the Divine Temple as we now just lost our Jet Dragon. Poplar is going to be our normal summon of choice, grabbing our original Sinful. They are under 3 summons so far for Nibiru to come into play at 5 summons who contribute the whole field. Poplar equipped into the back row, that's fine. We're about to go into the 4th summon as they summon an Ash from the deck, which could add a Poplar, activate, then summon. We are not going to be summoning our Jet Synchron, but we'll be sending it to the graveyard to then non-target negate the Spirit Dragon. Thus, that great continuous effect of stopping the Flameburst is no longer in effect. Discard a card to summon the Jet Synchron, and just like that, that is our 5th summon. Tribute the entire field, but now they have triple Tactics talent, and the field spell gets triggered. So it looks like we're summoning an early Baldrake here so that we could tribute our Nibiru to then banish a monster summon from the extra deck, which I would assume to be something like a Masquerena. Now, with triple Tactics talent, they could stop the Baldrake from banishing our extra deck monster by taking control of the Nibiru, as we then use Flameburst to push the Baldrake into the back row with not quite lethal damage at only 6,000. If the Flameburst is sent to the grave, they do have enough monsters in the grave to summon. Off the top of the deck, we have the White Stone of Legend. We're going to use the White Stone of Ancients in the graveyard to add back from the grave our alternative White Dragon. Also using the Flameburst to summon a Baldrake onto their field, which could tribute the token to banish a monster we summoned from the extra. We're going to use the alternative White Dragon, reveal the Blue Eyes to come forth and summon to trigger the field spell to summon a Jet Dragon onto the opponent's side of the field, which thus protects the entire field besides the Jet Dragon itself from destruction. What are we going to do with the alternative White Dragon if we can't destroy any other card in the field? Well, we can destroy the Jet Dragon itself. Now, Jet Dragon hiding in the graveyard has a special effect that states if a card in the field is destroyed, it will summon itself onto the field from the grave or from the hand. We are swinging in with our Nibiru. A monster has been destroyed. Jet Dragon trigger, come forth and summon onto the field. It has another special effect, which it states at the start of the damage step as it's activating. Right now, you can see that. That's sub-step 1 of the battle attack. That is of the... Not during the replay, Gia. Now, this will be spinning the Flameburst back to the hand during the damage step. Just like that. At the start, back to the hand you go. We're not big enough to take out that token. Main phase 2, we're going to link this up into the Heavenly Spheres, triggering the White Stone, grabbing a Blue Eyes White Dragon from the deck to our hand, as we then link this up into Masquerena. Now, the Heavenly Sphere could spin back the token, then summon a dragon from the deck, then Masquerena could link up with that newly summoned dragon. What's the play? What's the play? We got the way. About to go to battle phase, so attempting to enter the main phase as we then, I should say, end the main phase, activate Masquerena in response to then Shokan into Avermax. Avermax is untargetable and indestructible due to the Masquerena. It can be destroyed by battle, but if you battle into the Avermax, it's going to gain attack equal to the monster it's battling with if it were special summoned. So how do you deal with it? You really can't. You need to find a non-targeting way to deal with that Avermax. And it also can't be destruction related. We're going to be having our Ash on summon, searching for the Poplar. A popular way to deal with the Avermax is a Goddess. So if we can get a 4th monster on the field, that Underworld Goddess will be ready. But the Goddess does state that I believe all monsters have to be effect monsters. They don't even have Goddess in their extra deck for me to even check. Okay, so Goddess is not an out. As they summon an Oak from the deck, activate Oak, Reborn from the grave, or banish onto the field. This is another way to out it. The Nightingale can attack directly, then summon a Zeus for non-target, send the entire field to the grave. So while indestructible, we still could be sent to the grave or get banished. And just like that, Zeus is here with 4 materials ready to wipe the field twice, but Avermax special effect now activates. When sent to the grave, shuffle a card in the field, back in the deck, non-targeting, back into the extra deck you go. Now we're going to be using the Poplar, which was a material activating, equipping an Oak. We are then using the effect of the Snake Eye Chase to summon a card that's in the back row onto the field during the end phase. The Oak not really doing anything off of that. Holy moly, that's an amazing top deck. The Melody of Awakening Dragon, discard a Blue Eyes White Dragon, search our deck for up to 2 Blue Eyes White Dragon-like cards. We have Chaos Emperor. Now, this has crazy synergy with Jetstream Dragon. This will destroy itself to add a Banished Dragon, which, get ready for what that will be doing. Destroy, add Whitestone, trigger, Jet Dragon, come forth, back onto the field again. This card is probably the best card of Blue Eyes. And then we have the effect of Chaos Emperor from the extra deck, banishing a Light and Dark to summon itself onto the field. Do we have game here? We do not. We have 6,000 damage. But what can the opponent do as the Jet Dragon is protecting everything else from being destroyed? We're going to be making a Stellar Wind Wolf. Now, after 5 monster effects, it's going to become 4,000 attack, then gain the ability to shuffle all opponent's monsters back into the deck. Okay? Otherwise, it has no other disruption. Get ready, get ready. Subversion, pushing the Jet Dragon into the back row again, setting a Drone Lockbird as we have no Original Sin in the graveyard for a good follow-up play. Whitestone Ancients continually recycling the Alternative White Dragon in the graveyard back to our hand, revealing the Blue Eyes White Dragon to come forth and summon our Alternative White Dragon, activating to pop the Drone Lockbird, chain the Link Karibo to summon onto the field. That's 2 monster effects, which will further boost up that Stellar Wind by plus 300, boosting it up to the field. Summon our Ancients as we are about to then go into a level 9 Synchro into making the tier 1 best deck of the game, scooping it up. Damn. Now, chat, is that a ban or pay? Gia, put up the replay for me. The poll, let me know. Boom. Whoa, that's a lot of bans. Oh my God. Wait, ban Gia for sneezing? What? You added that. You are in fact getting paid. Good job, Dr. JB. We are not going to be banning you. You have won some money for your Blue Eyes White Dragon play. Very well done. Let's now hop into a new one. We have Yugi versus Jack Atlas. What the heck? Has that ever happened in the anime, Gia? Were they even alive at the same time? Are you ready? Begin. What is this? Snake Eye, Albaz, Dark Magician, setting up with the Salvation, our Eternal Soul, which makes our Dark Magician unaffected from everything. And we have Dark Magician being sent from the deck to the grave, which could be reborn with that Eternal Soul. Thanks to the Magician's Soul, then sending the field spell and the Subversion to draw 2. Using the Illusion of Chaos to grab our Rod as we then return the Albaz back in the deck. Rod searching for our Circle combo. With the Eternal Soul, we can now banish any card on the field on the summon of our Dark Magician. We now have Verte Anaconda banned in the TCG and OCG, sending Branded Fusion to then come forth and summon our Mirror Jade. Now giving Dark Magician the ability to non-target monster banish any card on the field. Dark Magical Circle randomly giving us access to our Secrets of Dark Magic, giving us the ability to fusion summon whenever we want. What will we fuse into, though? Crimson Gaia, searching your deck for a Red Dragon Archfiend card, sure. Using up our normal summon on the Soul Resonator, grabbing any Fiend monster from the deck, special summoning our Fiend, then discarding with Supay to then special summon itself plus a Supay from the deck, as they then Synchro Shokan into an Ancient Pixie Dragon, which doesn't really do anything. Now, in response to the special summon of Vision Resonator, only summonable if there's a level 5 or higher Dark on the field, we're flipping up that Eternal Soul to summon our Dark Magician, but it's gonna get fingered. Called by the grave onto that Dark Magician. That is the way. We're gonna chain Mirror Jade, send the Rinbrum to non-target monster, banish a card on the field in response to our Dark Magician being fingered, and thus we have no Dark Magician to summon. Now, this could summon a Dark Magician from the hand or grave. So you would think that, where does it say? It's special summon from the hand or grave, that you would have to reveal your hand on the resolution of not summoning your Dark Magician since it doesn't target. But I believe the new rules of TCG is you just have to trust your opponent. Just trust them. We're then further synchroing into Red Rising Dragon on summon, reborn from the graveyard. We're going to chain Rinbrum, reborn the Albaz from the graveyard. Now, Albaz is not banished or back in the deck because of the Verte Anaconda being the main way to summon that Mirror Jade. Thus, we're going to be able to fuse with the opponent's field using that newly summoned Albaz. Albaz, discard, fuse with a dark monster to make the Light Lubellion. Light Lubellion will discard a card on summon to return the fingered Dark Magician back in the deck alongside the Albaz to make what? A Dark Magician Dragon Knight. Now, what's crazy about this card is this card's name becomes Dark Magician while on the field or in the graveyard, which means it is unaffected from everything through the effect of Eternal Soul. It can be reborn from the graveyard through the effect of Eternal Soul, and it being a Dark Magician triggers the Dark Magical Circle to banish any card on the field. But wait, there's more. It has the effect of your back row spell and traps cannot be targeted, nor can they be destroyed by cards like Harpy Feather Duster. Unaffected, indestructible back row, banish a card in the field, and continually do so with Eternal Soul. Dark Magician is back. Maybe for YouTube Ray only. On summon, we are triggering the circle to banish the Pixie off of the field here, but Jack Atlas is not done cooking. We're out of disruption completely. There's nothing left we could do. So with the Red Rising Dragon, we're going to reborn the Resonator Crimson from the graveyard, which will summon 2 Resonators from the deck to make a 4-card Synchro Shokan into Red Supernova Dragon. Holy moly. The Supernova Dragon states that it cannot be destroyed by the opponent's card effects, and when your opponent activates a monster effect, you could chain to that monster effect to banish the entire field. Everything gets banished. Okay, and it's also boosted 6,500 attack for each tuner in your graveyard. Now down to 6,000 attack. Taking out Mirror Jade, but if we were to activate Mirror Jade, the Supernova could not be destroyed during the end phase. It is fully protected. So what do we do against this? How do we stop this? We can't activate any monster effect or our entire field will get banished. So what we're getting rid of our Dark Magician Dragon Knight. Now our back row is vulnerable to being targeted or being destroyed. But now we have our Dark Magician Dragon Knight in the graveyard to be reborn with the Eternal Soul. We're not activating a monster effect. We are triggering the Dark Magical Circle. While you are indestructible, you're not untargetable, you're banished off the field, and just like that, Dark stealing a monster for the opponent's graveyard. Yugi defeating Jack Atlas. Damn. Okay, that was pretty damn cool. Okay, Gia, put up the poll. Should this deck, should that replay get banned or paid? Ban or pay. Dark Magician versus Atlas. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Oh my god. YouTube Ray, I would have paid you. I thought that was a great I can't believe that. This is shocking to me. You will not be able to eat tonight. You will not be paid. And I know you've been subbed to me for many years, but we actually now have to ban you. You are banned. Back to Fortnite, you fool. The Libromancer Makonko versus Branded Despia. The what? Elixir of Scarlet Sanguine, summon a zombie from the deck or grave? Sure, not sure what we're doing with that, but we have Impermanence. We have Quem, which could reborn from the grave. The Albaz, which could then fuse with our field, so that's about 2 disruptions there. We then have the Rinbrum, which can negate an extra deck monster. Is the regained a disruption? Not really. It could summon the Magna Hut, also draw a card from the deck, maybe drawing into a hand trap. They have a bunch of Bystials on whether they're good or not. And with that said, let's see what Murasaki can do. Begin. Preparation of Rites, searching for a level 7 or lower Fire Burst Ritual monster. Libromancer, origin story, setting up the Libromancer field spell, which will not only search for a Libromancer, but also perform a ritual summon. We're going to reveal a ritual monster to summon our Libromancer Fire. Fire on summon will search our deck for a Libromancer monster. As we said, the Gangrenal would be triggered off of the Fire summon. And also the summon is triggering the regain to reborn the Magna Hut from the grave, which is not extra disruption. Now, Lulu Walla Lilith is actual disruption. If a card leaves the extra deck, we could then target a face-up monster on the field, a face-up card that is, and negate it. Okay, that's interesting. Magna Hut, search, Quem, reborn, Albaz to fuse with the fire. How can you fuse with the fire? Fire and Albaz, I think that is potentially a mistake from Quem, unless we have something. What? Albaz is not activating as I thought, sure. Oh, what the heck was that? Geek Boy, reveal a ritual monster, come forth and summon and search your deck for a Libromancer spell. We now have Libromancer Realize, which will summon a token on the field equal to the monster we revealed, a level 7 token. Tribute the level 7 to then not fusion, but ritual Shokan into Fire Burst. What does this card do? This states that if this was ritual summon using a monster on the field, it cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, any battle damage is doubled. It can also declare 2 attacks during the battle phase onto monsters. And when a monster declares an attack, you can banish a Libromancer ritual from the grave to then gain 200. That's nothing. And also the origin story is being triggered. It's going to target a back row card the opponent controls to then destroy. Let me make sure that this is good. Yup. Back row card onto the Imperm, forcing the Impermanence onto the Fire Burst. Now, the double attack is negated, but the double battle damage is not negated. We have the Orihime searching for the Ceremony. This is where the opponent's going, hold up. This is supposed to be a Libromancer deck, not Makanko also. What is going on here? Using the field spell to ritual... Wait, the field spell is more than once per turn. You could just keep on activating. You could only activate the card once per turn, but you could keep on activating to ritual summon. That is disgusting. We got Doom Broker, which can attack directly. Special summoning Ohime from the hand. Now, the Ceremony could send a Makanko card from the deck to the graveyard, which will be the water. We can equip the water onto any monster on the field. We are going to be equipping it onto our own Fire Burst back to our hand. Hugh Lee adding a Rivalry from the deck. We have double battle damage reflect, double-edged sword equipped onto their monster as they then surrender before we go in for game. Double reflect with any of our Makankos attacking into that. Thus, and we also had the Doom Burst attacking for game directly. Was that a ban or pay? Let's find out. Boom. No. I'm not gonna have any subscribers left if I'm banning all of them. Murasaki, you are banned. Back to Fortnite, you fool. No hand traps from Sky Striker. We're going to be normal summoning our Gene Raider Lopter to then summon from the deck our Vala. Vala on summon can reborn a monster from the grave or summon from the hand. Mardell on summon, searching for a Gene Raider boss stage, which will trigger off of the opponent adding a card from the deck to the hand, including drawing. We now have that boss stage ready, and when comboed up with the boss monster Leviathan, this is non-target, suck up to 2 cards on the field or in the graveyards onto a newly summoned Xyz. So that is incredible. Let's see what they could do though. Lightning Storm can take out the back row, but our monster and defense is protected. You drew a card, so our field spell is triggered to summon from the deck a Gene Raider Har. Har states that it will be able to negate anything. You activate and we have tokens. We're gonna tribute 2 of them to negate. So do get ready on that. It also destroys off the negate. So we have negate, destroy, and suck up to 2 cards. Looks like we are wiping out all of the attack position tokens. Thus, the Har would have nothing to tribute to negate. So we are negating. Now, there's an important ruling here. Are we negating the activation or the effect? Let's read that. negate the activation. If you do, destroy the card. And there's another Lightning Storm where the card states you can only activate one Lightning Storm, but due to us negating the activation, they now get to activate Lightning Storm again. Uh-oh. We double Lightning Storm back to back. We're chaining the Sky Striker mobilized linkage to then send the Lightning Storm to the grave to summon from the extra deck Hayate to then attack directly. Goodbye to the back row. It was a bluff evenly matched. We do have Leviathan ready to activate whenever they're about to do something threatening. They're going to use the Sky Striker Widow Anchor to attempt to, I believe, no, we couldn't take control, but negate the Har. Just getting a third spell in graveyard so that we could use the engage to draw an addition to searching. So we have now sucked up the Ray from the graveyard plus the linkage in the grave. Are there 3 different spells in the grave? There are only 2. So we're only able to search our deck, not draw, due to the Jormonger sucking up the Ray and a spell. We have Ash Blossom, negate onto the engage, mate. Ain't no way. All right, very nice. And I think Sky Striker got pretty clapped up here. We're making a Kagari, so we're not done. We've only just begun as we then add back the engage in the graveyard back in our hand. These Sky Striker cards are not locked into being activated only once per turn. We do get the additional draw here also, as we do have wait, did we have an additional draw? What happened here? Engage, activate, and then you have 3 more. Oh, wait, it's not different spell. I thought it was different spells. It is just 3 spells, so that does work. Just re-remembering how Sky Striker works here. We now have the linkage sending our extra deck monster to the grave to summon a Kana. Kana on summon will make the Har unable to attack during the next turn here, as we further link up into Shizuku, which will search for a spell during the end phase, which we could, with the toggle on, activate a quick play spell to then trigger the the multi-roll that is, to then set up the Widow Anchor in the grave. So what we could do here is do exactly that. But this will summon a monster into the main monster zone, which would then make the newly set Widow Anchor not activatable. So shouldn't we have the quick play spell that maybe banishes from the opponent's grave, then trigger the multi-roll, then set the card that negates monsters? We already activate a spell without having to even need to trigger it with a newly added spell, because we activated the multi-roll before activating a spell within the turn. So there you go. We didn't have to do that trick. But normally without multi-roll, I should say without the Widow Anchor in the graveyard, you add the Widow Anchor from the deck. If there isn't one in the graveyard, which there was, you then activate Widow Anchor, negating a card in the field, including your own monster. Then you would then use the multi-roll to set up that Widow Anchor from the grave. So very well done. Goodbye to our tokens due to the field spell resolving during the end phase. What do we have here? It's now time for the invoked part of the engine. Ash is negating Alistair the Invoker. We're now chaining the Jormonger for both players to draw a card, then give it materials to then become 4,000 attack. Widow Anchor negate. We are tributing 2 monsters, mate, to negate that Widow Anchor. You are not taking control. You are not negating. Okay, what else do we have here? We have the World Legacy Monstrosity. Activate one of these effects, special summon a level 9 from the deck, or we could target a level 9 to summon not 1, but 2 level 9s from the deck. What? How is that balanced? Surely we can't attack with them, right? They cannot attack, and they're also destroyed during the end phase. Okay, it makes sense. We have Vala reborn from the graveyard, our Lopter. Mardell searching our deck for a Gene Raider boss stage. Lopter tribute to summon from the deck a Nidhogg. Now Nidhogg can negate a special summon. So if you were to summon from the extra deck a Sky Striker, we'll just negate that summon, but we don't even have that monster on the field anymore, as we now use the Sacred Tree in response to a spell to equip a spell. Now the Sacred Tree can not only negate a monster, it can negate a monster or negate a spell. And that's going to be especially great against Sky Striker. Now, before monsters leave during the end phase, we're going to Xyz into an infinite track Earth Slicer. With the Earth Slicer, we're going to take out the multi-roll on the field. Let's get to it. By drawing a card, trigger the boss stage, summon from the deck Har, which will trigger the boss stage to summon monsters that we contribute for the negate of Har. So what we have here is negate anything and negate a spell or monster effect. How can they play through it? Well, 2 negates, 4 cards in the hand. That should be good enough. Now, the Triple Tactics talent is activatable. What is Metaverse doing? It's playing a field spell, but what field spell? Another Gene Raider boss stage. Okay, sure. Second boss stage, that is fine. It does make them draw a card though, right? The boss stage or the metaverse? No. That is the Gene Raider specific one where it's like metaverse where it plays the field spell, then they draw, then it would trigger the effect of Har, but they don't have that effect. You have Sacred Tree, negating the triple tactics talent. You are not going to take control of one of my monsters here. And then what we have left is the Hornet Drones, which we saw them search. We knew they had this card. Summon a token, link it up into Kagari, add back the Engage and the Graveyard back to our hand. This is not looking good for Gene Raider, actually. Further linking this up into Hayate. Hayate can attack directly, sending a Sky Striker card from the deck to the grave. This is a very long duel. What is going on? We now have a Sky Striker, Ace, Rose. Taking control within the battle phase, the Slicer to then wipe out the Har off of the field. Further linking this up into a Zeke. Zeke on summon, banishing the Sacred Tree Beast off of the field. Boda, I think you're going to get banned if you submitted a replay that you're about to lose. What the heck is this? You have nothing now. Rose is here, send to the graveyard, further link this up into Shizuku, and we now have a finger in the back row as we search for an Afterburners to be used during the next turn. Oh shoot, you added a card triggering our field spell. Could we have just passed on this or what? Vala being summoned from the deck, triggering to Reborn, Mardell from the graveyard. Mardell, add a field spell or a Gene Raider card from the deck to our hand, grabbing Hela. Is Hela good? Hela tribute a Gene Raider to then summon a Gene Raider from the graveyard. Okay. We have Leviathan. Non-target suck up to 2 cards on the field or in the graveyard into the newly summoned Xyz we summon. We're going to be fingering Vala through the effect of Vala. Okay, yep. We are activating Vala. We're going to be banishing Vala. Vala now negated. Not summoning onto the field. You fingered me. I now finger you. Finger the Ray. Negate the Ray. You will not be summoned off of us dealing with your Shizuku in the damage step. Now we still get to hold on to our 2-card disruption. Sacred Tree comes back with no effect. We have the boss stage being triggered to summon from the deck another form of disruption we have not seen yet. This is going to be the Utgarda, which states that it could pop 1 card in the field by banishing it. Tribute 2, Gene Raiders, quick effect, banish any card on the field. What's good? Afterburners going for the Leviathan non-target disruption play. It's going to jump off the field, thus the field spell will not be destroyed as the Afterburners did not destroy a monster. With Jormunga on the field plus disruption through the Utgarda, Gene Raider defeats Sky Striker. Is that a ban or pay? Is that a ban or pay? Let's find out. Ban or pay, Gene Raider. Reveal. You are getting paid. Dark Magician did not get paid. Libromancer ain't getting paid, but you are getting paid, my friend. Congratulations, you are not banned. Very well done. We have no disruption, so we're just going to be speeding on through the turn 1 Snake Eyes play. Now, what are the disruptions here? We have the field spell, which will trigger on our summon to summon the Flamebirds, which will then summon the Masquerena, which will then be able to link into Disruption. We have Promethean Princess, which could pop a card we control. They got Veiler, Ash, and a Ghost Bell. The Unicorn could banish an important extra deck monster from our extra deck. The Heat Soul is going to be drawing a card every single turn, and they're going to have great follow-up if we do not defeat them this turn. That's probably one of the biggest problems with Snake Eyes, is just not being able to beat them in one turn, because of how resilient they are with continually swarming the field with monsters. Well, can Tearlament do it? Hajime. Oh, we have the Kashtira field spell, which will help us out here. Drawing into another Veiler off the Heat Soul, that's extra disruption. There's a lot we have to play through. King of the Swamp searching for the Polymerization. Negate with the Ash. Okay, so play 1 down. We still have field spell, Sharon, and Revolution Synchro. We got 3 more plays. And our Kit Cow's gone. Kit Cow now banished off of the Unicorn. That is huge. That is horrible. Field spell searching for our Fenrir. That is one of our plays here. Triggering the field spell to then summon a Flamberge off of our summon. A monster effect is not activated yet. Now it is, summoning the Masquerena. So in response on resolution, we can activate Fenrir to banish. We are activating to, wait. We did not trigger to banish. We didn't. We are just activating to search. So we're waiting on the banish. Valor's going to be negating the search anyway, though, so no search for you. On the resolution, we are going to be using the Masquerena to link into Nightmare Unicorn. Nightmare Unicorn on summon, discard the Valor to spin the Fenrir back into the deck, triggering the Flame Burst, which we said the Kaldo and Medora could spin back in the deck, the level 1 fires, but they were not able to get into the grave quick enough. Does that mean we should have opened up with Sharon first to just get the Kaldo and Medora into the grave early? Possibly. And we also have that Promethean Princess still ready to be summoned from the grave to pop one of our monsters on special. This is where they get swarming. This is where they make it nearly impossible to beat them in one turn, and further giving them the follow-up plays to beat up on the follow-up. That's going to be our normal summon Mudora, used with the Revolution Synchron to Black Rose Dragon, destroy the entire field, and then we still have a Sharon play? Ain't no way. We can't stop this. It's going to wipe up everything besides the Unicorn, because it's protected by Masquerena, full Black Rose Dragon, Mudora being activated right now in response to the Poplar, shuffling the Promethean back in the extra deck, no more disruption, not equipping the Flame Burst, and goodbye to the Wanted Seeker so you don't draw a card during the next turn. Sharon mill 3. Did we mill something good? We milled a Havnus, but we do not have a Kit Kalos. Kit Kalos is banished face down. We do have Destrudo, though. Destrudo is great. What are we fusing into? Ghost Spell negate. Ain't no way. Havnus shuffles back in the deck from the grave. The Ghost Spell negates. All the hand traps are gone. Valor, Ash, Ghost Spell, Destrudo. We're not done. We've only just begun. Synchro Shokan into a level 7. Now, Ancient Fairy wants there to be a field spell in the field to pop to then search for a field spell. We don't have one, so what do we do from here? Well, the Revolution Synchron is not done cooking. We're going to be milling the top card. Oh my gosh. Milling Triva Karma off the top of the deck. This activates from the grave to search for any Vsauce Starfrost card. What the hell is that? And we're using it now to search our deck for a Tearlament Scream. Tearlament Scream activates if we summon a monster while there's a Tearlament on the field. Or a Vsauce, okay? This is our Vsauce. Vsauce Amritira, which triggers the Scream, which triggers the Amritira to search our deck for a Vsauce card. Let's get to it. Search our deck for a Meta Noise, which could flip a monster face down, plus trigger a fusion summon with our Tearlament. Very nice. Mill 3, Shadow Beast, draw a card. Sulik, search for a monster. Heartbeat, add the trap in the graveyard back to our hand. Oh, that was a great mill. What the heck? All 3 cards milled activating. Very well done on that Scream. We have Monster Negate, we have Monster Flip Down plus Fuse, we have a Tearlament Kashtira to mill 2 more cards off the top of our deck here. Come forth and summon, mill 2. How good's the mill 2 gonna be? Not that good. That was not a good mill, but we got some really good protection here, plus the Scream ready to be activated again. Do we have any in-grave effects to worry about, like a Fairy Tale Snow? We do have Kaldo ready to spin up to 3 cards on either player's graveyard back into the deck. We're gonna use Subversion, pushing the Tearlament Kashtira into the back row, plus use our Call by the Grave to finger the Kaldo, as the Kaldo, before being banished, is going to instead banish itself to return our Tearlaments back into the deck. Okay. Tearlament Kashtira get pushed back. Now, the Sulik is known to only be activatable if we control a Tearlament, but it actually says a Tear or a Vsauce Starfrost. Konami wanted us to play Tearlaments this way. This is the way to play Tearlament. Ash on summon, we got negates for days. Scream's gonna be triggered first. And then we flip up Sulik. We then resolve it by send the Vsauce Amritira, negate, now not able to search, not able to send itself to then summon from the deck. And if we milled any of our Tearlaments, which we increased the chance to since we returned them back in the deck, we even had more plays. Tearlament defeating the best deck in the game. Is that a banner pay? Begin. That is a huge pay. Ain't no way. Tearlament is back in the meta. Thank you very much. Just like that. Maddie Pin, well, that was the, yes, Maddie Pin is getting paid. Congratulations. Giovanni Banner Pay with the Dogmatica, Ritual, Iris, Sword Soul, Albaz. What the heck is this? Begin. Going first, Diviner Unsummon Send from the deck or action to the Grave a Fairy. That is going to be a negate from Impermanence Mate. Now, the Iris Sword Soul is summonable. If a monster in the field is negated, we could special summon the Iris Sword Soul. Why not? Wow, why does she have an animation? Because. We're going to further link this up into Almirage. If we have an extra deck monster in the field, we could special summon our Ecclesia. Further linking it into a secure Gardna. Sure. Clasia, seeing that we have that Gardna, special summoning to then search our deck for a Dogmatica Matrix. Matrix on activation, search our deck for a Dogmatica Ritual or Spell or Monster. We have the Albazoa with a crazy animation to come forth and summon, sending the Lulu Lilith from the extra deck to the grave. Now, this will activate during the end phase to summon from the deck a light spellcaster monster like Quem. And the Dogmatica Albazoa is crazy through the effect of, for every 2 cards in your opponent's extra deck, they must send 1 card from their hand or extra deck to the grave, which pretty much translates into send 7 cards from their extra deck to the grave. Do you know your deck that requires the extra deck to do well if it could survive sending 7 cards to the graveyard? Probably not. And also, your Dogmatica cards are unaffected by anything that is Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or linked. So Dogmatica monsters unaffected. Yup, so how do you deal with it? Matrix has the additional effect of looking at either player's extra deck to send another card to the graveyard. So we could have looked at theirs. If 7 cards being sent to the grave would have not been enough, we're sending our Herald Fairy to then trigger to search for the Ohime. This is Makanko and Dogmatica. Summoning a Hugh Lee from the deck here, equipping onto it, activating to grab a Rivalry. Now for the opponent, they sent all of these cards to the extra. And discarded a card? Wait, well, no, that Imperm was used earlier. Correction. Lulu Lilith summoning a Quem from the deck. On summon, send a Blazing Cartesia from our deck to the grave. Okay. Rivalry equipment on the Hugh Lee. This is interesting. With the metal silver armor onto the Hugh Lee, it states that your opponent must, if they're going to activate anything that would target a monster in the field, including their own monster, they must target the equipped monster instead. But Hugh Lee states that when equipped, Makanko cards cannot be targeted. So you have to target, but you can't target, so what do? Ohime searching our deck for the Ha-Ray. You know that this means that the Makanko player with their own equipped cards cannot equip them onto their own Makankos because they target a monster on the field. So how do we get the equipped cards onto them? Ceremony, activate, special summon the Ohime. Well, Ohime actually is the way to equip. Ohime targets the equip but does not target a monster on the field to give the equip to. Thus, the Hugh Lee does get countered by Ohime. Makanko getting countered by Makanko. Ceremony sending from the deck to the grave the Makanko Water. We would not be able, with the in-hand water, activate it onto any monster. It has to be in the graveyard, has to be targeted with Ohime to then apply it to a monster on the field, non-targeting. Now, by being equipped with the equip card, Ha-Ray triggered to then grab the Fire Dance. What? What was that? By summoning a monster from the deck, I get to draw 2 cards just because. Why not? All right, nice. Reflect 4,000 damage, except the Secure Gardna has the effect of the first time you would take battle damage, you take no damage. So no 4,000. That was supposed to be game. That was 8,000 damage, but the Secure Gardna was actually needed to win. Ain't no way. We're then following up with the Makanko Fire Dance, summoning Almirage from the opponent's graveyard onto the field. It is negated, and let's go. We cannot use Rivalry on anything. Target a face-up monster, equip it with something. If there's a metal silver, you cannot target monsters. What do? Kagura is great here, and it's important to note that both Hugh Lees are protecting all the Makanko cards from being targeted on the field. We can't target anything. They can't be destroyed. They can't be targeted. How do we out it? Both players are in a weird situation here. We got rid of our metal silver armor, so now the Rivalry is activatable. We're going to use Fire Dance to summon the Hugh Lee back in the field. Ohime activating to search our deck for a Makanko Dance, then discard that Makanko Dance to reborn a Makanko from the grave. Kagura is a crazy card. Per equip card in the graveyard, you're going to deal 1,000 damage and destroy that many cards on the field, non-targeting. So while the Makanko monsters equipped with the equip cards cannot be destroyed by card effect, the cards themselves, the equip cards, can be destroyed. Ohime is going to, I believe, make itself indestructible from the destruction of the Kagura, and the Rivalry is activating where it was not activatable. The Axe of Fools onto the Zoa, it's now negated. Okay, this is it. This is the Ritual Shokan. How many equip cards do we have in the grave? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 equip cards, deal 4,000 damage, and destroy 4 cards in the field except the Makankos themselves, because they're indestructible. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the equipped cards wiped off the field, 4,000 damage off of that full wipe. Rivalry being triggered because an equipped card was sent to the grave, adding the metal silver in the graveyard back to our hand, reborning the Hugh Lee with the Makanko Dance. Triple Tactics talent going for that draw to play as we then re-equip the silver onto the Hugh Lee, thus making it again impossible for you to be able to target any monster in the field, including your own. We unfortunately did not lethal damage here. We have the Dogmatica Matrix sending the Entis to then take out the Ohime, fully opening up the field. Albazoa forcing them to send 1, 2, 3, 4 more cards from the extra deck to the grave. Tribute summoning from Maximus, sending 2 more cards from the extra deck to the grave. Triggering the Quem to reborn the Cartesia, triggering the Garura to draw a card, triggering the Arclight to then search our deck for a ritual card. There's a lot of advantage in this deck, and you even have Branded Opening to summon something like a Quem. We have Heavenly Gate of the Makonko. Mate, what the heck is that? Makonko's gonna attack twice, and your opponent has to attack into a Makonko if they're able to attack. Just like that. Dogmatica, anti-extra deck, anti-going first with Makonko, wins the duel against Makonko. Is this a ban or a pay? Boom. No, this is what that was that not a great replay? Are we banning for the content of the replay, or are we banning due to our own bias against Makonko itself? Ain't no way. I'm really sorry, Giovanni, but you are banned. Back to Fortnite, you fool! After being banned, Giovanni is coming in for a second chance to get unbanned and also get paid, or will be receiving a double ban. Hajime. Oh gosh, super heavy samurai? Ain't no way. Let's speed up this nonsense. It's also with Zephyra, huh? Welcome back. We are dealing with negate anything, negate anything, negate anything, and negate anything. 4 negate anything. 4 Omni negates. You need a Lava Golem, you need Kaiju, you need some like 5 evenly matches to banish the whole field. Just like that. Begin. This is your chance. Nini does nothing on your turn. She has the effect of stealing a monster during the opponent's turn, but we're still going to equip a Makonko Dance onto her. Sure. Negating the activation of the Makonko Dance. Interesting. We're down from 4 negates to 3. Double-edged sword will double reflect battle damage if we battle into that monster with our Makonko equipped with something. Divine Strike. Negate. We got 2 more negate anythings. Sure, why not? And now we have Al Mirage further linking this up into the secure Gardena. Just feeling out the opponent here. Makonko Dance activates to reborn the Nini and equip the dance onto it. Baron to floor. Negate. We're on our final negate. 1 more negate. Thrust. Thrusting the Nadir Servant into our hand. Nadir Servant send a monster from the action deck to the grave, then search our deck for nothing, cuz negate. All right, that's it. No more negates. And that negate shuffles it back in the deck. So I do believe we probably should have shuffled the double-edged sword or the Makonko Dance back in the deck through the effect of the 9 pillars. What the heck is this? We have no more negates. It's all gone. But do we have more plays? The Dogmatica Albazoa is going to do nothing here at the moment, as the Ohime could search for the Ceremony, discarding the Albazoa. Ceremony special summon the Ohime onto the field. She could target an equip card in the grave and then equip it onto a monster on the field. We are going to activate, equip the double-edged sword onto the Borreload Savage Dragon. And just like that, double battle damage reflected against a Quadra Omni Negate field. Is that a double ban, or are we unbanning, then paying Giovanni? Get ready. Boom. Giovanni, you have redeemed yourself. You are unbanned, and you are now getting paid. Congratulations, Giovanni. You did it. This is not looking good for Boda, which we have just recently banned, but Boda, wanting to come back for a second chance, is choosing to do so through Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes Spiral, though. Is this worthy of being unbanned, or will Boda receive a double ban? Begin. What do we have here? The opponent has no disruption whatsoever. Diablo Star, discarding the Poplar. Okay, so with the Singularity, we're going to target cards your opponent control or in the graveyard up to the number of different card types, Ritual, Fusion, Synchro you control, and in the grave. We have Link and Synchro and Xyz. So we spin 3 cards back. We have Tri-Gate, which is going to be able to negate anything. We have Apollo, which can negate. We have Sleeper, which could pop 2 cards on the field. We have Masquerena, which could link into a Disruption. We have about 6 disruptions through a V-Link, but, you know, the Apollo's pointing forward, so they could still use the extra deck. Begin. All right. Are you getting unbanned for this? Limited 1 Foolish Burial Good, sending a Sulik to then search our deck for a Tearlament. We have Hovness, which could chain to a monster on the field. Mudora, discarding Keldo to special summon. Sharon, discard Hovness to special summon, then mill 3. Wolf is going to be reborning from the graveyard. Hovness is activating to now Fusion Summon. We're going to use the Singularity to spin the Hovness and Wolf back into the hand so that they're now not able to summon in Fusion. So very well done on that. We have 5 more disruptions. To battle phase we go. Sleeper is going to activate to get poppin'. Pop the Sharon and the Mudora. We're going to chain Hovness to special summon onto the field. Then the Sharon's going to activate Diffuse. If we could chain link block the Apollo, it's not. We didn't even Apollo negate. Okay. We also didn't Tri-Gate negate. Kit Cal is now here, and the Masquerena can't even link up during the battle phase. Tri-Gate Wizard is going to be negating and banishing the Kit Kalos. So we still have Masquerena, Apollo, and Paulo. Apollo's now negated. We just have Masquerena. We have no Masquerena. We have nothing. No more disruption left. Singularity actually going to be reborning that disruption back onto the field because a monster it's pointing to has left the field. With the Masquerena, we decided to not link up during their turn. Okay. Tri-Gate Wizard has some other effects here, but first we're going to use the Sleeper to pop 2 cards on the field. We're going to chain New World Formation to then set a Vsauce Starfrost card onto your field. We're going to chain Singularity to spin the Necroface and Sulik back into the hand. Okay. The World Formation has now resolved with no effect because there's no more Sulik to set onto the field. As we now make Nightmare Unicorn, which is co-linked to the Tri-Gate Wizard, not only spinning the Hovness back, but we're going to be drawing a card, giving the Tri-Gate the Omni Negate, and the Singularity is going to reborn from the grave. Are we negating the Keldo? We're not. Tri-Gate Wizard is going to hold on to that Omni Negate as 3 cards get spun back into the deck, nullifying the Singularity from reborning from the grave, setting up with the Divine Temple to set up a Flameburge, using the Helix to then add a Sleeper that was shuffled back to the deck to then banish and resummon it back in the field. And just like that, with over 14,000 damage, is Boda getting double banned or unbanned and paid? This is the final one. This is it. Reveal the ban or pay. Boom. Boda, I believe for the first time in ban or pay history, someone has now received a double Bubba ban. You are Bubba banned, you fool. Damn. Okay. And that was it for ban or pay. Let me know if you enjoyed the video. If you watched as long as you could, that greatly supported the video. Let me know in the comments and all that great stuff. Thank you very much. Hajime.